So today we're going to take a closer look at Oracle Corporation, ticker ORCL. The stock is up over 10% in the past 5 days after dominating earnings. And for those that are not familiar, Oracle was actually on my top three AI stocks for 2024. There were three stocks in that list. Number one was Nvidia, number two was CrowdStrike, and number three was Oracle. And luckily for me, all three are doing amazing. And in that video, I talked a lot about the bullish case for the company. Today, I want to take a closer look at earnings. They did mention a lot of cool stuff and their overall growth demand. They also mentioned maybe some partnerships with Nvidia that I think investors should kind of keep a closer eye on. So let's take a closer look in today's episode.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so let's start off with price action. And Oracle right now, like I mentioned, sitting at $125 in the past 5 days is up roughly 10%. Most of those gains coming from earnings. Year to date, the stock is up over 20%. In the past year, the stock is up over 48%. Now, the company did report earnings, and we can see after earnings, numerous analysts have increased their price target. A lot of price targets over 140, some near 150. Analysts are getting pretty excited about Oracle, and one of the main reasons is their overall growth in the AI market. Now, when we think of Oracle, if you just look at the top line number, and do believe this is why Oracle has given us such a great buying opportunity, was because when you look at the top level numbers of Oracle, you'd see that revenue was only up 7% year over year. And I do believe if you looked at quarter two and quarter one, it was very low single digits. So you might be like, Jose, how should we be? Why should I be, or me, why am I investing in a company that's growing revenue at single digits, right? If they're in the AI market, shouldn't they be growing at double digits, maybe even triple digits? And yes, that is true, but that is in their growing segments. So we can see their Cloud 3 revenue was roughly $5.1 billion, and that was up 24% year over year. Their quarter three cloud infrastructure was up 49% year over year. So when you start to look at the inners of Oracle, you can see the overall growth opportunities that the AI market can bring. Over the last 12 months, the company did have free cash flow of roughly 12.3 billion, and the CEO mentions that large new cloud infrastructure contracts signed in quarter three drove Oracle's total remaining performance applications up 29% to over 80 billion, an all-time record. And they do expect to get most of this revenue, or 43% of this remaining performance applications will be recognized as revenue over the next 4 quarters as they continue to build up a huge amount of AI demand, AI data centers and AI infrastructure. So right now, Oracle is pretty much saying, hey, look, we have huge demand for AI solutions. Unfortunately, we don't have the complete infrastructure right now, even though we are expanding at rapid pace. Before we go any further, I just want to say thank you all for the amazing support we are getting in this channel. We're closing into 40,000 subs. That is insane. So if you haven't and you are enjoying the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Finally, if you want to support this channel a little bit more, check out my special offer at fool.com/Jose. Now back to today's episode. So to me, that bodes well, as I don't believe AI demand is going to go anywhere, and Oracle does have some really great partnerships with Nvidia. If you watch my original video here where I talked about Oracle, one of my favorite things about Oracle was how they were always one of the first to announce new solutions with Nvidia. And that kind of showcased to me that Nvidia and Oracle had a pretty interesting partnership compared to maybe some of the other cloud server providers. The other thing that we got me a little bit excited about this market was Oracle mentions that they are a nice player in the healthcare space. And right now they're trying to get a lot of their healthcare customers to move into their clouding business and into the AI market. If you have been watching my Nvidia videos, you might remember that about a week ago, I mentioned that NVIDIA mentioned that the biggest tech opportunity for the future was going to be the healthcare industry and the healthcare technology. So Oracle is already a big player in this space, so that bodes well for the future growth of this overall company. Now, they do showcase a lot of winners or customer highlights for quarter three. They mentioned a lot of big players. Some of them are dealing in the AI space, like 12 Labs, and some of them are just kind of mature big players like McDonald's moving into Oracle Cloud. Now, I want to look at valuation real quick for Oracle, and then I want to end up the episode looking at some of their transcripts. But we can see Oracle's ratio right now sitting at 34. PE ratio forward is sitting at 22.47, and forward 1 year is sitting at 20.14. So forward is actually going to be next quarter, right? Forward is the end of their fiscal year, and their fiscal year ends in about 3 months from now. So 22.47 is not that expensive at all. And for the next, I want to say 15 months or so, it would drop down to 20. I do believe analysts are underestimating the potential of Oracle, and these valuations are going to be even lower when we get to them on a trailing 12-month basis, right? So, in my opinion, Oracle is still a nice growth opportunity for the future. Now, if we take a closer look at their transcript, we heard a lot about their solutions. The first thing they mention is if it wasn't for supply constraint, or pretty much saying, hey, if we had enough data centers, our consumption growth would have been even higher. So the company is making sure to double down on building a lot of data center solutions. So we'll talk about that in a bit. But the company CEO also mentions that they have some very nice joint announcements with Nvidia that we're going to hear during the GTC event next week. And I'm pretty excited. Like I mentioned, Oracle and Nvidia have always announced some great partnerships first before other cloud server providers. So I'm excited to hear about that. Now, the company mentions that capex for the quarter 4 of this fiscal year, which is the one they're in right now, was going to be a little bit higher than quarter 3, and for the full year will be somewhere between $7 to $7.5 billion. The main reason is the company is building numerous clouds solutions. Here we can see customer-facing cloud regions. They have roughly 47 public cloud regions and another 8 being built. They also have 11 dedicated region slots and 13 more planned to be built. They have 2 Alloy cloud regions live with 5 more planned to be built right now. So we can see this company is growing as fast as they can. And they do mention that their data centers are very autonomous to one way or another. Once they're up and running, it's very easy for them to kind of once they have the hardware, it's very easy for them to get it running and start collecting that revenue. The CEO does mention that for the next 12 months or so, they believe that demand for their cloud services continue to get stronger, and their pipeline is growing even faster, and their win rates are going higher as well. Now, they have some pretty amazing financial goals for their fiscal year of 2026, and they still committed to them. But the CEO did give some great news that these goals might prove to be a bit too conservative given the current momentum. Now, in forms of Nvidia news, the co-founder and the current CTO, Lawrence, mentions that Oracle signed another big Generation 2 cloud infrastructure contract with Nvidia in quarter 3, and that this Gen 2 AI infrastructure business is booming. They also got at least 40 new AI bookings that are over $1 billion that haven't come online yet. So we can definitely see that AI companies are looking for Oracle for their infrastructure solution. And they're bringing an enormous amount of capacity over the next 24 months because the demand is so high. And we can see here the CTO even kind of mentions that they have really great relationships with NVIDIA as they're both customers of each other and work very closely together. So again, I mean, like I mentioned, and Oracle is one of those companies that looks very boring on the top level, but once you start to dig closer in what the company can grow in, I do believe it could get investors excited. Again, in forms of PE ratio forward and PE ratio forward 1 year, I personally believe Oracle, in my mind, is still a buy, and I'm going to be buying over time. It has become a very healthy position in my overall portfolio, and I'm happy I did that when I released that video on early January, when I saw the overall potential that this company can see in the future thanks to AI. So obviously we're still in early innings here in my investment thesis, and if the AI market continues to grow, I do believe Oracle will continue to outperform expectations. So I'm pretty happy. Let me know what you guys think about this boring company. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.